Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Dude Ranch DIY. My name is Jake, and this morning we are down here in the wood yard, and I'm doing a little thinking and some organizing and some cleaning. So let me show you what I got going on. So if you've been following along with the channel, you know that I finally split up and got rid of the rest of all those random size chunks of ash firewood that were all here. Yesterday I came down with the blower and blew everything off as best I could, at least in this area. I didn't get back there. It's getting kind of late. I was making too much noise for the neighbors. But yeah, so everything is cleaned up here, and we've been, in the past couple of videos, we made some bundles over in this area. Quick update, we did have our first sale of bundles. I got home yesterday from working a job, and I noticed that the rack was empty. Well, not empty, but there were some racks empty in the firewood stand, and whoever came by bought 4 bundles all at once, which was interesting because that 4 bundles at $5 a piece is 20 bucks, and they chose the 4 bundles over the one $20 loose stack of wood. So interesting, might be a convenience factor there of just picking up the 4 bundles rather than a couple armloads of wood, to the back of the truck or the trunk. But I'm happy to say that we have made our first money on the firewood stand after, I think it's been out about 2.5 or 3 weeks now. So anyway, we are out here in the wood yard, and I'm getting ready to, set up the log splitter and everything again to get back into production mode now that everything, is cleaned up and we've done some spring cleaning. And, the log splitter used to be over here facing this way, and Chris and I would, put an IBC tote at the end of it and split and stack into it and do all of our cutting here where you can see all the sawdust. But I'm kind of rethinking things because I want to change up the way that we do our cutting to save us time sharpening saws and kind of save our backs a little bit. And I'm thinking I'm going to take these two, that one and that ash log, and put them out in front of the splitter where we do our cutting, and kind of use those to buck up logs on top of. That way, 1, it's off the ground, we don't have to bend down, and 2, we won't dull our chains, on the asphalt millings at all. I think it would just make it a little bit easier and, more productive overall. Not only would this probably be a little bit more efficient time-wise, but I think it would really open up this whole area over here, which used to be like kind of the production area. It would open up a lot more room for storage of these IBC totes, because as you can see, they go all the way down the road there, and I have more room for probably maybe like 5 more at the end there, but I don't want to go too much farther down, because then it, kind of starts to become an eyesore and you can see it from the road. Okay, so this is kind of my idea here. I don't know if you can visualize it a little bit better now, but essentially I'm gonna be using these two logs as kind of like sawhorses almost to keep the wood that I'm cutting, being, you know, these logs and all the other logs that I have, up off the ground. I used these really nice black cherry 4x4 posts here to kind of keep both the logs in place, almost like chocks to keep them in place. And my plan is, you know, to just be able to plop logs down into that little gully there between the two logs and cut them up. And that way I can cut completely through the log without having to worry about burying the saw into the asphalt millings. And when it's all cut up, I can just easily with the picaroon or just by hand push them off. And I have this little staging area for all my cut off rounds. That way it goes, you know, from pile to dolly or to sawhorses to, you know, right here ready by the splitter. Now I have plenty of room, you know, all this area to come in with the tractor, plop an IBC tote down that's empty, fill it up with the splitter, have the tractor here, back up, and then I can go over here and continue, you know, lining the woodyard road, and then it'll open up and free up all this space for more, you know, drying storage for the IBC totes. So I think this should work out pretty well. Alrighty, so we got this last section blown off and cleaned up. I guess it's never too late for a little bit of spring cleaning, even though it's June. While I was blowing this, you know, I thought back because a couple weeks ago, I had a friend come over. He wanted like a 20-inch tall round of wood to put an antique like well pump, like a hand pump on, that he, you know, has like creeping wisteria or vines or whatever grow up each summer, and he wanted something to put it on. So he came over here in his car and pulled down the road, and he had never been back here before, and he was like, wow, this is really impressive. He's like, this is, not only is this like a pretty large area, it's pretty impressive that you built this in like a year, but he said it's so neat and organized. And he's like, normally you drive by a place that does firewood and it just looks like, you know, excuse my French or lack of a better term, but a show. You know, wood everywhere, old equipment, garbage, you know, all mixed up. And he was like, wow, this is really organized. It looks like you got a real good operation going on here. And, you know, I don't know if you guys could tell through watching these videos and stuff, but I am definitely a little bit OCD. I like things neat. I like things organized. When, you know, there's a big hodgepodge or a mess, like was this big pile that we just recently got rid of, it gives me not anxiety, but like I just want to get it cleaned up because I think everything just flows and works better when things are neat and tidy and organized. So that's why I just took the time to blow all this stuff away. So now we can get ready to make a mess all over again, and hopefully, you know, it won't be such a mess for as long as this big pile was for several months there. So. Okay, well that clearly did not work. These logs were not stacked up all that evenly, so the forks were not the attachment of choice to do that. So I'm gonna go throw on the grapple and hopefully I can clean up this mess that I just created. So that was kind of a mess trying to use the pallet forks. The Grapple was definitely the way to go. But we got all these little firewood poles over here. I got 2 on the new makeshift, log sawhorse cutting table kind of thing. And when I'm ready to cut, I think I'll just run down it with the Mingo marker, mark up each of them, and then I can cut them all up. And then I got more logs staged here, ready to go. I brought this IBC tote over because all the little chunks and cutoffs, I'm just gonna throw directly in there. That way I don't have to pick them up, from a pile in the future like I had to this last go around. And now that I know my buddy wants to use them for his wood boiler, I could just fill up an IBC tote, and when it's full, dump it into the truck and bring it over to his house to get rid of. I have to head out now, so we will check back in later today, depending on the weather, and maybe we can get some of this firewood cut up. Okay, guys, so we are back in the wood yard. Believe it or not, it is like 4 or 5 days later from when I filmed the first part of this video, and I'm still probably not going to finish the video today, but I wanted to give you a quick firewood stand update. In the meantime, I think as of filming the last video, I think we had sold 4 bundles. I believe we've sold 3 more, or no, 4, yeah, 3 more, plus an entire loose stack of firewood, one of the loose racks. So we've sold, I believe it's 45, I don't know, somewhere at like $60 worth of firewood, $65 worth of firewood so far in the stand, which is great. We've been having consistent sales, at least like 1 sale each day. Sarah actually saw one of the guys coming this morning that bought some firewood. So we're super excited about that, but it is currently Thursday evening. We're supposed to have a gorgeous bang up weekend this weekend. So I want to make sure that the firewood stand is properly stacked up. So I'm going to grab 6 more bundles here, or actually 5 more bundles. Even though I have 6 cubbies for bundles, I think that it almost entices people to come to the stand more if they see that some has been sold. So I'm purposefully going to leave one of the cubbies facing the road empty, just to make it look like, if people haven't already seen, that the wood is selling, which it definitely is. So I will throw some wood in the big tool rack here, some bundles. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I have a fresh tote, or IBC tote, up on the front pallet forks of super dry wood. Let me grab the camera and show you that. Okay, so here we got a nice, oh, that's a slug. A nice tote of what appears to be all ash. I actually had to move 3 full totes that were all also oak out of the way. So that's why I always, whenever I have oak, I always split it and fill the entire tote with oak. That way it's pretty apparent, because oak just takes so much longer to dry, like double the time, if not triple the time, as all the other, or the majority of all the other types of wood that I do bring back to the wood yard. That, it's just easier for me to keep all the oak in its own tote. And if I have a tote of oak that's like halfway filled up, and I don't have any more to split, I'll put it off to the side and wait till I get more oak into the wood yard and split it into that tote to fill it up all the way, just so that I can keep it, clear. And that way I'm not, ripping off any customers by selling them wet firewood. But this stuff, I'm hoping, should be good, because it's all ash, and ash, as many of you know, is, dying off anyway due to the emerald ash borer. So again, I'm going to go down a little bit and grab a couple pieces from not the top. So here's one. I'll grab this piece here, and one from the back here. And we will fire up the splitter and test these pieces. Okay, so let's try this again. Again, I oriented all of the fresh split faces up. So here we go. Ash firewood, test one, piece one. So right there we are at saying like 22% moisture content on the inside. And hold on. 17, 16, 5 on the outside. So again, second half to that same piece. This piece is 23, and on the outside, 17. Inside, or outside, 22. Outside, 18 and 17. So this thing, this general moisture meter, it works pretty well, I think. I mean, I have nothing really to compare it to. I do wonder, I don't know if you can see here, but the tips to these probes are all bent. Let me know in the comments section below if you guys have one of these and if that affects the moisture reading on it. I'm not too sure, but I do know it beeps for anything, any moisture content in wood, like, I don't know, I think it's like anything over 12% or so, but it does have like different modes, like wood, building, wood. Yeah, I guess it's those two modes. So I don't know. I mean, I've had this thing for a while. It works pretty well, I think. But again, like I said, I have nothing to compare it to. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and say that this wood, for the most part, is ready to burn. And again, it's ash. So this stuff, you know, lights like a matchstick anyway. So I think for all intensive purposes, for our firewood stand, this stuff is good to go. All right, guys, so we just made it out to the firewood stand, and we are joined by Sarah out here.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good, not too bad. We make any sales today?
Oh yeah, we did.
Did we?
We sold all of the bundles. I heard the dogs barking while I was on a conference call. And
What dogs? Those dogs?
Yeah.
Louie's hiding behind the Japanese maple.
Yep. And I see a car out here, and he took all the little bundles.
There we go. And we sold a loose stack you saw yesterday too, right?
Stack yesterday.
All right.
While I'm working, I just stare out the window and wait for the sales.
So should we check the piggy bank?
Let's check it out. Wrong way.
Wrong way.
Let's see here.
What do we got?
Got a 10, we got a 5. And, oh wow. We got $3 and we got
Oh, are
change.
people paying with quarters now?
Yeah.
Great.
Hey, money's money.
All right, we'll take it as long as it's legal tender. They're making you work for this one, huh?
Yeah.
Hopefully it's just quarters and not dimes or pennies.
No, just quarters.
All right, so
Hey,
are
I'll
we,
take it.
how many bundles did they buy here?
They bought 5.
5 bundles?
No.
Well, how much money do we have?
We
There?
have,
Why don't we count the money? It's
we
easier.
have $20.
$20.
So they bought
4 bundles.
Yeah.
4 bundles.
then
All right.
yesterday,
You know,
the big-
they could do the Venmo option too, but you know,
Yeah.
we'll take the cash, cold hard cash.
Cash money dollars.
Yeah, there we go. Lock it back up. All right, while she's doing that, we got this nice tote of ash firewood and the bundles in the back. So I'm gonna load up the loose wood and Sarah's going to throw the bundles back in the stand. All right, guys, so we got the stand all filled back up. Sarah did a great job filling up the loose firewood, and I put 5 more bundles in.
So the trick is to leave one open.
Yeah, show
any.
them in the front.
We decided to keep the middle one.
So yeah, so we're leaving this middle one open, and tell them why.
So we didn't have sales for 2.5 weeks, and then someone bought their first bundle.
4 of them at once.
That was the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we left one open, and then we had sales every day.
Every day since there's been one open.
I think people just need to know that other people are buying them.
Right, it gives them the peace of mind.
Oh, and I went for a walk today with Louie, and we passed the other firewood stand, and nothing has sold.
Nothing's been sold yet? All right.
And they're in a better location than us, I would say.
Well, we're on the same street, but yeah, they are right across from a trail,
yeah,
a main like walking trail.
I walk Louie every day. The same people walk their dogs every day. So
right.
They're right there.
Yeah. You know, something that I forget exactly who in the comment section, but somebody pointed out regarding the competition down the street is that, you know, they'll see their firewood stand if they're traveling in a certain direction first, and then they might not stop in time, or they might think, oh, I'll stop next time, and then they pass by our firewood stand and they see it, cheaper prices, and a big driveway to pull into. Yeah. So, you know, we might be making off with some of his customers anyway. And they see the dogs, right?
Stop.
Yeah, and we're going to be adding a nice little homey touch with a note kind of explaining who we are, that there's a YouTube channel that they can watch all of the firewood be made, from cutting down the trees on my jobs to, you know, being hauled back to the yard to final product of being loaded into the firewood stand. So I think that's about going to wrap up this video.
So that's going to wrap up this video. We're going to go and play some pickleball. I don't know if anybody else plays pickleball, but I bought Jake rackets like last week, and we finally went and we had so much fun. So we're going to try to do that like every other day. And Jake kicked my butt, so I need to beat him this time. But thanks for watching. If you like this, like, comment, subscribe.
Share, hit all the buttons.
Yeah,
you guys know what to do.
All the buttons.
We really appreciate you guys being here. So that's gonna be it. We'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, see ya.
See ya.